against Faker. You can even tell that Coma has dressed up to the tees for this one.
He's not holding back tonight. The full suit jacket with the shoes, the tie, the white shirt.
Now,
he's coming in for the funeral of KT.
Nasty. And then you got SKT banning out the enablers. In the first series, we were saying the meta has shifted in so many wonky picks that the enablers are the critical champions that allow these things to happen. Zac and Galio, you can see the Caitlyn being removed away. Depth has been playing that recently, but he's also stated that he's been practicing some Xayah. And while he personally doesn't fancy the champion too much, it has made its way onto the ban, which allows Elise to go down, and Score's Elise is insanely good. So SKT has to have a good answer for this one, because this early game can be just blown right open by Score.
The Elise is terrifying, but what do SKT respond with? A lot of other big picks still available. Karma is one of them. We've seen Faker play a lot of that. A big flex pick to start off for SKT. You got other picks such as Gragas that we've seen so many times. Do we want to see that brought out here by SKT or something else?
It's a good flex pick because the mobility that the shield gives you allows you to get away from Elise. Mid to late game, if Elise has not snowballed, she's just a cocoon. If you can just get away from that, then you allow your team to ignore her and carry on with the fight. But Bang will be locking out that Ashe right away. So already a bottom lane possible, as well as Faker flex pick. But what this means is that, to me, I think they're really prioritizing Huni here. There's a reason why they brought him back. There's a reason why he has such a wealth of champions in the top lane, that with the utility that SKT have selected for them, you can tell what they're going for. But KT's just going with full action in the bottom side. Elise and Thresh just so deadly, and Mata making so many game-changing plays with his Thresh just out of nowhere. This man still has a touch that he's got for 3 years in a row.
Yeah, they've gotten a couple of really big picks for both Score and Mata, and just throwing Smeb on the Renekton. We've seen it before. It doesn't seem like these two teams want to prioritize the Rumble after the 7.12 changes. We saw it come out in the first match of the night, but perhaps these teams not favoring it quite as much. Still no AD carry pick on the side of KT. And just as I was saying, it looks like we're going to see Peanut, one of the top junglers on this Rek'Sai.
And Rek'Sai does so much damage right now. Level 7 Rek'Sai was able to solo out a level 9 Jarvan in about 4 autos and some spells earlier today. So the champion makes a lot of sense. It allows Peanut to play as a carry, but so far they don't have a tank line. The remaining champions for SKT, I'm thinking that maybe Braum looks like a viable pick for this composition between Rek'Sai and Ashe. It makes for a good way to peel off against what KT can throw their way. And now they've already got their established CC and pick composition. And how are they going to round this out with mid and AD? It will be the Rumble against Huni. He had a grin earlier. Could that be the beginnings of a Mordekaiser possibly? I think Fiora would make a little more sense.
I really hope so. And you can see the target here against Deft. Lots of respect. I mean, no AD pick before the second ban phase, and already going into that there were 2 AD carry bans, so make that 4 with the Varus coming off the table. But there are so many other picks. I mean, we saw Jhin earlier on. You could definitely lock that in if he wants to a little bit later.
There is Jhin and there's also Xayah, so they're forcing him onto champions that maybe they're not as comfortable with as what has been banned out before. And that cannon being locked away, it's still being a hover, but it will open up top lane to be pushing tremendously into Smeb, which could slow down the onslaught that Renekton and Elise throw out. Kalista, the pick that makes the most sense here. However, when you're dealing with Ashe, it can be dangerous to get in range of Ashe's. Not only does she outrange you, but her slows, her volley and arrow make it quite complicated for you to play Kalista at one-on-one into this pick.
So what will be the pick here? Blind for Pawn. Looking at Corki, did have some changes as 7.12. Now his attacks do more magic damage compared to the physical. I think it's 80% magic, 20% physical now.
Yeah, he's basically just a full AP, and there's going to be the Braum out from SKT, so pretty standard stuff all around. SKT going with the Carmen to the mid lane, so an anti-assassin, this very solid pick to help everybody else, and so much of this is going to be on Peanut early in the game, and I kind of expect KT to want to have completely standard lanes, but if SKT can find a way to split the map and then allow Huni to push into the top side without the threat of Elise and Renekton, then I think that the early game can be mitigated from KT. However, Corki and Kalista late, when you don't have crazy amounts of dive, make it really complicated when it comes to approaching a fight.
Well, guys, we're all set up here. You do see the compositions for game number 1. Tons of pressure on both of these teams coming into this. I mean, this isn't just about their careers, you know, it's about the sponsors, it's about the crazy amount of fans that came down. There's not an empty seat left in the Nexon Arena tonight.
If it was legal to sell the floor as a place to watch the game, I believe the entire floor would be packed with people. But there's even more on the line. The winner of this, I've decided, determines what phone company I go with my own phone. So there's just so much riding on this one.
There you go. Crumbs making big decisions for himself based on this match tonight. And I don't really need to say it, but if you've got friends that aren't watching, basically just don't talk to them ever again. It's okay, maybe they can catch the VODs. But they're going to be missing it live with the rest of us here in the Nexon Arena. You guys can see the stone cold killer faces of KT up against SKT.
We can talk about the compositions as much as we want, but these two teams have proven in the beginning of this year and this split again that they're teams that their comps don't matter too much. They understand pressure, they understand objective control and wave management, and as such, they can beat you with any composition. So what they have in store is so much more than what you see in their champions.
Yeah, and guys, it is time. We're gonna jump into game number 1 right now. SKT versus KT Rolster. Well, there you go. Not a single seat left open in the house.
As soon as you say that, somebody just sits down in the finalist seat.
Yeah, someone took it. They got that last ticket. Now, this has been sold out for quite a while. But we did have the Doran Shield change come into 7-12 too, where it costs 50 more. You can get one less pot, but still 4 Doran Shields coming forward here to start the items. 3 on the side of KT.
I think it's wise in this matchup to start with Doran Shield, as it allows you to stay healthier in the lane, and both these compositions have a lot of gank pressure onto themselves. They have so much crowd control and damage that if you are to get low, none of them would have any hesitation in going for a dive. And Smeb trying to see where Peanut is starting, but take a look at what Huni has been starting out. He's gone for a Colt early on, which is going to make this laning phase a bit more difficult if he is to get harassed out. So again, looking for SKT to split the map open and keep tabs on score as much as possible to allow Huni's early itemization to pay off much more effectively later in the game.
Huni getting at it already. Onto Smeb saying, hey, get out of my lane. Actually missed 2 of those creeps to do just that, but really wants to put on the pressure right from the get-go at level 1, even with that call.
It's so apparent that KT wants to target that top side. When you have Elise jungling from bottom to top with no leash, so many times has Smeb carried this season with Renekton. He started off so shaky. We were wondering, where did the old Smeb go? Where? He's right back here. He's been carrying games like crazy. Last time around, he just obliterated BBQ with his Renekton, as well as Ever, if I'm not mistaken, but he's been having a great time. Level 2 here is not going to be much of a threat. He needs to hit level 3 before Score can safely assist onto a gank.
Yeah, Score just going for the, Scuttle Crab, as Peanut does the same on the opposite side. But look at the pathing here from Score. I think Smeb saw the ward go down by Huni, and Score is going to go all the way around. Huni, a little bit up in the lane, but you can see he's pressuring a little bit less. He knows the timing here of the Elise.
Needs to wait for the wave to crash so that there are no minions in the way of the cocoon. But this probably is going to be first blood.
if Huni's not careful, but you can see he's already backing up. But there's the flash stun into the cocoon, and first blood will go over to Smeb, set up by Score.
Easy as cake. They started out from the get-go with this being the plan, and Huni pushing earlier just made it that much easier for them to pull this off. Didn't even burn his flash, and now he's going to use his teleport. Will only miss out on a handful of CS, but first blood going to Smeb just could not be any better.
So good up against this cannon. You can see he goes back, buys a Kindle Gem already with that first blood in the 18 CS.
And the refillable potion, and here it goes. He waits for the dash, beautiful there. Doesn't even use the second slice. Chooses to use his flash first to guarantee the stun, giving no chance to Huni. And I love the commitment from Score as well, flashing immediately. They know the value of that kill, and now you can expect them to pay even more attention to this top side.
You can see that Huni, he still has his flash. Didn't use it in the engage. Happened too fast. Couldn't even see it coming. Even if he did see it coming, just couldn't react fast enough.
Oh boy, look at the build that Score has gone for. First item Moby boots. He's on a warpath to just gank like crazy. It looks like bottom lane might be the target with a flash play from Mata. It could be all it takes. However, without any summoners being down from SKT, they would have to be so certain that this will net a kill if they're going to open up that way.
Well, we're going to have a small pause here. A groan from the crowd. Definitely could hear that through the headphones. And not exactly sure what this is about. We can just see referees charging in.
So you have to look on the
SKT pause, guys.
On the plus side, right? Look on for your positives. This means that because we're starting off this way, this game is going to have everything. This series will literally
it's gonna have a pause
everything.
too.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know if we're going to have an Akali pentakill yet, but maybe. Can't count it out yet. Not sure exactly what the problem is. We just know it was SKT that did call the pause. And I wonder what Huni's feeling right now after getting first blooded like that, just easy peasy. Oh, we actually have a new graphic coming down there in the bottom right. It's a sound issue. Thanks, production.
Now we know. Feel more at home.
They even have the pause little, you know, the
I wish it had a big
thing that shows
ear.
that it's
just
a pause.
An ear right next to it, letting us know.
An ear? Instead of sound issue, it just has a big ear?
No, after the sound issue.
With an X through it, saying it's like the mute.
Yeah.
The mute thing. But yeah, Huni, with all the pressure up onto him, he gets taken out easy cake. Easy as cake, and I mean, he just got put back into the lineup after a kind of weak game, and his spot was taken by Untara. And now, we'll hold that thought. The flash forward, really aggressive. They one pawn here. TP coming in. Smeb will just cancel that.
That was so bold from SKT, going for a flash to guarantee the tether, and now here's Score. He doesn't have flash. Karma's quite quick in getting out of these situations as long as he saves his shield, so he won't overstep.
Yeah, so not going to work. Too big of a push going on there. See already a nice bit of vision for KT over in the bottom river side, whereas SKT has more control over the top side. Even a deeper ward over near that Gromp.
And that play just shows you how sharp these teams are. KT's on a warpath to eliminate SKT. They said they're ready for revenge. They're not going to let this happen once again. And the second that the gank comes out, Smeb is ready to teleport to threaten SKT. If you choose to dive this, I will be there to clean things up. And the last thing you want to do is enable a snowball from Renekton. And the control ward that was placed earlier by Peanut gets immediately targeted out. They want to make sure that Huni does not feel safe pushing this lane. They need to put this cannon down. He's already a bit of CS ahead onto Smeb, even after dying.
Looks like he'll just go for the recall after that. We're getting a short look down here in the bottom lane. Looks like things are pretty even, as even though Depth is a little bit behind, he's got a bigger wave coming on in. No summoners have been blown down here, as you were mentioning before. And just peace in the bot lane for now.
And level 6 into the bottom lane could mean a 5-man from literally everybody. Between the 4 teleports that the solo lanes are bringing, as well as the mobility that these junglers can pack, the only way that you can safely take down Thresh Kalista of this caliber will likely be a huge team effort. Same for the Ashe Braum. You have a higher chance of doing so between Mata and Deft, as the CC that they bring and defensive capabilities of Ashe and Braum aren't as great. But that just means that they will just bring everybody down there, as from the summoners and champions that they've picked, they already identify that this game is going to come down to teamwork.
Well, when you get to the highest level, it's basically what will happen. You know, no big mistakes. I don't really want to call out Roxanne ever, but comparatively, there really is no comparison, as SKT and KT won't be making quite the same mistakes and shortcomings that the previous two teams did have.
Oh, I can't even think about them right now. I'm cleansing my palate here.
Getting something a little bit more rich, delicious.
The game is relatively even so far. Not much has happened to CS, save for in mid lane. But now here comes another attempt onto Huni, and he doesn't have any vision. He does have flash, but I don't think he can get out of this.
If you get stunned up, it's just the chain, basically. And when you're playing Corki, if you can line up all your abilities into one big stun target, it's very easy. So here they go, Dominus procced, and there's the cocoon. Goodbye, Huni, for the second time. And the teleport, again, just going to be canceled.
And SKT is just being played like a book over and over. They're indiscriminate in the teams that they do this against. Renekton and Elise, such a powerful combination. This combination has existed for so long, and now they're aiming for a turret. If Huni TP's here, he's gonna die again.
He is gonna TP, not to the turret though, to the cannon, and oh boy, forced to cancel it. I mean, that's just mind-boggling at this point. You can't be making mistakes like that at this point in the game. All it took was Renekton stepping up saying, I dare you, Huni, go ahead.
Remember, they still have flash. Huni's died twice and hasn't even had the opportunity to burn his flash because of how well the setup from KT has been. Now he's in such a deep hole. Luckily for him, he's got that cold to get him out of it, but pressure-wise is so far away.
Curious to see what KT will do. But we're going to take a look at Huni's demise again. Just the easiest setup in the world. Smeb not scared of the turret.
Not scared of the teleport. It's just a lonely Karma teleporting into that fight. That's not going to mean a whole lot. And now here comes an attempt onto the bottom lane. They do have a ward as far back as possible to try to scout this out. However, the game has been accelerated significantly with that first brick going on into the top side. So they will have to go for more complex planning on the side of KT if they want to make similar moves around mid and bottom lane. Considering how easy it was in the top side, I doubt it will be the same in the rest.
Oh, Hook is going to land here. Here's Score. The play back. Wolf will jump to his ally. Can they land that cocoon? No. Just the flash will be forced.
And that's why the initial gank, you don't want to commit with a flash play unless they're super low. So wisely enough, he just goes for the hook and gets one flash in, and on the revisit, it can yield a kill.
That's a pretty cool hawk shot. Like that skin. Bang, bringing it in.
Valentine's Day Ashe, but she's only got eyes for Tryndamere.
Unfortunately. Well, trying to set up vision. Oh, they actually land that cocoon onto Faker. Down to about half health. Huni, meanwhile, slicing Maelstrom into the wind.
Ooh. I don't know what's going on with Huni here, but he's going to have to step up here. We don't get to see the full reason for that ultimate being used, but it did not appear like he was in any danger. Here's a 4-man, possibly a 5 if Pawn joins.
Yeah, and he is joining. Here we go. Dominus already procced. Wolf and Bang in a huge amount of trouble. They're going to go for the guy who doesn't have flash and easily take that one kill.
KT is making SKT look like BBQ at this rate. They're just doing whatever they want on the map, and no answer from them. Topside has no pressure. Karma can't do a whole lot, and unlike most supportive builds on Karma, she's going with the AP build that we last saw out of Crown, where you rush that Morellonomicons and go for even more damage later on, which is the smart choice considering the somewhat low damage composition at SKT, and they don't have a hyper carry on their hands. So right now it will help them wave clear a little bit better than the AP Karma build, but it does make him more susceptible to getting picked off. That AP Corki just does more damage to Karma now.
Yeah, already having picked up the Sheen, you could see that whenever Faker tries to step up to pawn, he's not having a good time. And so just trying to farm out as best as he possibly can. Both those guys very even. Only just one assist going over to pawn so far. Pushing forward, and you can see pawn, yeah, he's sitting there. Does eat the chunk from the Mantra Q.
He does do a lot of damage, and because he's really the only AP threat on this team, then he's going to have an easy time doing continuous damage throughout every step of the game. Huni will find Score.
Okay, Score just walking in, calmly cocoons him. There's the teleport in from pawn, it looks like. Score trying to come in. The arrow is going to hit pawn right at the right second. Smeb now is getting stunned up. Can they get onto him? The exhaust coming down. They are on the chase, slicing Maelstrom. Another stun comes in, and there is the Rek'Sai ultimate to clean up the kill. Bang coming in a little bit late. Will it continue the chase? You can see Faker coming from behind. Mata, Mantra Q is going to chunk down Score, but they're going to turn onto Peanut here. They take him out. Mata with the kill. And they're just going to leave it at that. Faker decides not to chase any longer.
If there's a fight on the map, you know Mata wants a part of it, and he's able to join with depth right there. Fate's Call being available if they chose to go even deeper for that kill, but it's going to yield them an Ocean Dragon 13 minutes in. They don't even need division control, and it all started from Huni, the 0-2 cannon, finding out Score. They thought they could turn on it, but the arrow came in right at the time where Pawn teleported into that battle, and as such, KT, while they are able to walk away with an Ocean Dragon, they do lose a kill, and we'll take another look here. Here's where it happens. Half HP, but the combo has already been used. He tries to get the knockup. Not such a huge deal because watch this arrow. Oh my goodness, the precision. It was aimed for Smeb, but somehow these arrows from Bang just always make a difference, and now they get to turn on to Smeb. The ultimate from Rek'Sai ends up doing so much damage at the end that they finally pick him up, and Wolf being there first to the rotation allows him to get that kill, but a bit of an over chase means that Mata can get an easy hook.
They see the lantern, and they just walk right at the Thresh. I mean, he's got all of his cooldowns right now.
It's because they had Faker from the backside. They thought that Karma would be able to assist and them to continue that battle, but this is a Kalista that is ready and able to take any battle. She still has all her summoners, and if you don't have enough to lock her down, she will clean you up.
Just got to be extremely careful when you're going for chases and you're behind. And we see some pings going down here in mid lane as the bot lane of KT is rotating on in, but looking Smeb and Score through the jungle. They are spotted on a ward. Huni will play this very safe.
KT threatening a 5-man onto the mid lane. You get to test out where the vision is at, moving all your members that way. They know that they need to protect Faker. That mid lane turret is just barely living on, and if they're able to crack that down, then the map becomes there. Going for those tier 2s allows them to further deny that jungle vision and deny camps like this, like that blue buff. Had that mid lane turret gone down, then they would have had an opportunity to contest. Instead, they will be going for that Rift Herald, so they no longer have to think about going for a 5-man onto the mid lane. If they choose to, they can just crack that open into the mid lane, use that Herald to take that tier 1, or alternatively, use it into the top side for a tier 2.
Is SKT actually going to contest this Rift Herald? In comes Huni, all by his lonesome. Peanut, he wants to get the steal. Pawn zoned out for now. This will go over to KT. Here's Huni with the slicing Maelstrom coming in. Whoa, for the support. Repel comes up. Huni taking a ton of damage, is forced to back off. Now it's Smeb and Pawn against the world. Huni forced to flash that wall. Faker's going to be taken out by the flash of Smeb, and Pawn still on the chase. Here comes Mata. Can they get any more? It looks like Peanut and Wolf able to get that slow. They're going to get out alive.
The Prey Seeker from Peanut gets to snipe out Score, but the Herald has already gone their way. They almost got another kill there with Pawn flashing over, just barely missing that rocket onto Huni, but now they're going to be in a position to take down that tier 1. You know that Herald means that it's going to be going to a tier 2, and a proper use of it means that KT is poised to snowball this game in a beautiful fashion.
This is looking just so good for KT to start off game number 1. Just absolute dominance in the top lane between the top and jungles, and it comes into this. They get the Rift Herald. Huni going very forward by himself. He knows he has some support.
there was indecisiveness with KT going for this play. They chose not to attack. Look at that Prey Seeker, just threw his own little Spiderlings, was able to just barely get him. And Pawn choosing to go for Huni, flashes out, just barely not connecting that rocket. But that indecisiveness from KT in finishing that Herald ends up costing the life of Score. They could have finished that a little bit earlier, but important to note, the way that Smeb and Score have been operating against Kennen is start off with the Renekton stun, which is guaranteed into the Cocoon. If you start off with Elise, the chance of you missing goes up much higher, and the gank and the attempt on the kill can just not happen at all, and that's what happened. He blew his Cocoon before the stun came out, so Huni was capable to follow through with his Slicing Maelstrom, do significant damage. Had they waited for the stun first, they might have been able to walk away without a casualty on that Herald play.
So we've seen SKT behind in other games. They seemingly, through acts of miracles at times, know how to come back. And even through the early deficits that they do get, make it very interesting in terms of the games that we do see. But so far it has been the KT show. And you can see they're looking for another setup onto poor Huni on the small little cannon. But they do see him. The ward. This is going to be used down in the bot lane to Rift Herald. Just Huni down here for now, so this turret will definitely take a nice chunk of damage. There it is. Mata hanging nearby. There's the Cocoon. They don't wait for that stun, and immediately Wolf has to come in and save him with the Glacial Fissure, and the Lantern to get Smeb out will save his life.
And those acts of miracle from SKT happen with a 1-3-1, spreading out KT, forcing their plays to happen in the obvious place. Nice, gets a bit heal.
Look at this. I mean, the Corki going ham on the Karma, and a bit of a 2-on-2 in the mid lane at the same time. Doesn't look like any kills will come of it, but Faker will be forced back. Peanut rotating up to top. Looks a little bit scared to go 1v1 for now. Waiting for less minions and the TP to come in. That's what he's going for. Can he get the Umburrow? Pawn with the Valkyrie is going to get away for now. But here's Faker coming on over, but Def joining in. Look for Mana on the left side too. Jumping on it as Wolf, trying to get that damage on the Pawn with the Rek'Sai. They do take him out. Throwing in Mana now. They will trade the 1-for-1. Teleport coming in. The rest of SKT on the run. And the red buff even going over to Score.
And a nice attempt from SKT to take down Pawn. They do walk away with the kill in the end, but Mata joins the fight once again, just being a part of so much action, even though the early game was so dictated by Score and Smeb. Now that it's transitioned into a full-on team fighting phase, you can expect him to be just absolutely everywhere, and this game is delivering already.
So much action. I mean, this is more than the average, I'd like to say. Already 9 kills in 20 minutes. He's got a replay. So
he's waiting for the Umburrow, but Corki's got a Trinity Force. He's much faster at this point, and while Faker gets to join, Death is already here, so he's taking so much damage, and Wolf gets a flash and then try to block some of the damage. Ends up giving his own life for it. However, the kill onto Pawn is what SKT is looking for, and with so many Cocoons being missed from Score, I'm led to believe that his mechanics might not be so on point. His decision-making, absolutely so, but multiple Cocoons missed on targets that are not being CC'd. It's not a huge deal, but it can make a difference when it comes down to moments where his Cocoon is gonna matter.
Yeah, definitely look towards that as this game moves on, perhaps later on in the series. You can see a big vision fight towards that. Oh, hold a thought. Pawn going in. He does have the package on him right now, trying to lock up Peanut with that slow. Peanut trying to jump back onto Pawn, but he's slowed so hard by the package. Pawn just going to get the solo kill on a Rek'Sai.
That package was insane. It knocked her out of the Umburrow, so he had no choice but to try to ult to get out of it, but it was already too late. Between the red buff and how strong Corki is right now, here we go.
Oh, that max range hook from Mata. That's going to seal the deal on the Faker. Wolf, say goodbye because you're going down 2. Pings towards the Baron for KT.
And now this game is all the KT show. 6,000 golded. It's only going to continue to go higher. And SKT don't have the tools to stall this out. KT can just dive the cannon anytime they want. They've got ways to make plays for days. They can also go into the mid lane if they want to. They have control of this game. Now even the blue buff, they're going to be able to get that dragon as well later down the line. The whole map is theirs.
Well, you said it earlier. KT is making SKT look like BBQ tonight, and they're sure looking like some fried chicken to me because they're just laying down, being eaten. I mean, this is just so one-sided at this point, and you have to wonder, are we going to see some subs going into game 2?
Look at this max hook, but
That's
Faker
unreal.
ends up getting locked in the wall, walks forward, and ends up connecting on that hook, and 2 kills going on to SKT means that, or KT rather, now they're in just a prime position to close this one out. 22 minutes in, a 7,000 gold lead. Corki's got an Infinity Edge. Now they're going for this Mountain Drake, and that Dragon means that this composition that normally cannot siege, when they start hitting that tower, threatening some dives, surely those towers will go down.
Oh boy. Super one-sided. This is not what I was expecting coming into this series. Thought it was going to be perhaps SKT on this side.
Now, I don't want to jinx anything, so I won't say anything, but I think we know who I was siding with. I believe I told you earlier. If it comes true, you can say it out loud.
Okay, I'll keep it a secret for now. I'm sure no one has any idea. But the push coming in with the Baron buff, they still got 2 minutes left. That's going to be an easy tier 2 in mid, tier 2 in top. And SKT, again, they're just kind of lying down and taking it. They trying to defend the mid, but they're down almost more than 10,000 gold. Big hook onto Wolf. And the arrow does actually hit Pawn here, but an easy flash away from the fissure means that no kills will come of it.
And that just shows the purchase of Mercury Treads from Pawn being so effective. He gets hit by arrow, but has enough time to flash out into the Lantern and is capable of taking it had that been necessary. You saw there once again, Score was missing another cocoon, but it's not a big deal now. He just has to be there waiting. Fate's Call comes out, but it's just a threat. They want the inhibitor, and they've got it.
Yeah, they'll clean that one up. We'll see where they want to go from here. Surely all the team does have a lot of gold, but immediately pings are going up into the top lane. They do not want to give up this pressure. You can't blame them. When you're this far ahead, I mean, SKT's still struggling to buy as many items as possible for the defense.
Their composition just needs so much to go right for them to make it into this stage. They're so far behind that Karma needs significantly more items for her wave clear to be effective into these Baron minions. Bang is nowhere near the damage that everybody else on KT is.
Miss Cocoon again, and with the flash, but look at this, Huni down in the bot lane is just going to be flashed on by Smeb. Easy cleanup, and man, this game is looking over already. What happened?
Under 25 minutes, they're looking at triple inhibs over SKT.
This is SKT in the booth, right? I mean, we didn't put the wrong team in there. This is very, very one-sided. The TP is coming on in. Super minions pushing down. All 3 inhibitors are here. The double teleport even. Try to make this as one-sided as possible. Already at 25 minutes, and the KT fans are screaming their heads off as the Nexus is gonna fall down in just under 25 minutes.
Decimation for SKT. They didn't even get a single tower. 3 kills was all they got. Look at those high fives.
Pawn is smiling.
Could it be?
What?
Is it happening for them? Could this be the beginning of the goals for this
takeover
team coming to be true?
The super team, man. The superstar team. It's star-studded. Down to the tips, every single player. And they didn't have that much success. They were doing okay in spring, right? They make it all the way to the finals, but then they get dominated again, the 3-0 by SKT over them. And now they're saying, summer split is ours, SKT. Get out of here.
Well, not just yet. It's only game 1, but however, KT, they play to the book that they've been using against every other team before. You got Renekton, Elise, topside. They play to their spikes just so well. Renekton and Elise being so strong with just base values. Bam, go up top there. Then utilize your Corki when he's hitting your item spike. You've got Kalista and Thresh to make rotations around the map. They understand their champions and the spikes that they bring with the itemization so perfectly, and SKT just look like they have no idea what hit them. As if they've never played against Renekton and Elise, and next time around, you can probably expect either some serious substitutions or a completely different change of draft.
Well, the sides will change. And we do have some shuffling around here, perhaps for that jungle. I'm not so sure, guys, but let's take a look at some of the replays from this game. As you were saying, Renekton, Elise, add in, you know, featuring Pawn on the Corki.
The one-sided affair, a great roam when they had no vision on the side of SKT, and here's a beautiful TP play with just so much crowd control between Cocoon, Ruthless Predator, and the Death Sentence. That's all it took for SKT's bottom lane to start going down. This was a play that looked to be where SKT could start clawing back. It was KT being a bit over-eager, the arrow commits, and we're thinking, okay, maybe this could be it. Smeb is getting low. They've got enough damage to take him out between red buff and 3 members. Bam, they get the kill, but then they overchase, and here's where the 2014 Worlds MVP comes in. Straight into the brush, they overchase. It's a great, nice little lantern, and then the hook. Instead of taking what they've got, they're looking for more. Faker's on the backside thinking they can clean house, but KT's first of the gun.
And we got to look at the Rift Herald fight. Huni trying to force the 1v2, has Wolf nearby. And the Rift Herald does go over to KT, even though score does go down.
By the way, I'm pretty sure Score missed every single Cocoon that wasn't on the stun target.
Yeah, I think that's true. I would have to give the tribute to Smeb in a bunch of those fights, comparatively, or to Mata. Really nice knock up there by the face calling onto 2 members. That was one more missed Cocoon, and there you have it. The max range death sentence. Mata saying, this is my Rift, boys.
It's his own skin. He's using his world-winning skin.
That's what you got to do. You got to show who's boss. 0 towers, 3 kills for SKT, no dragons. 25 minutes and 1 second. And KT wiped the floor with them. 13,000 gold to the Corki. Got off to a great start when, you know, really it was, you were talking about those enablers. Basically, Smeb, Score, and Mata, they got all the CC, they landed it, and Corki, Pawn was just there to clean him up with all that damage.
Giving up the Elise to Score and the Renekton to Smeb. And here we know what's up. Do we even have to say it? We don't know for sure, but we know.
I think we're very, very certain at this point, as the seats have been changed. And some players are leaving and others are joining us. Join us in 8 minutes.